Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, Entitled Ken felt entitled to my engagement ring. Entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. Update: Entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled Ken felt entitled to my engagement ring. So this happened a few months ago. I was doing my normal monthly grocery shopping at Walmart. I'm in the meat section getting what my family needs/will use for the month. I am terminally ill, so my weight fluctuates a decent bit. My fingers swell and shrink depending on what kind of day I'm having. At this moment, my hands were as small as they'd ever get. While putting a roast in my cart, my ring slips off and clangs its way through the bottom of the cart and onto the floor, where it bounced a couple of feet. Cue Entitled Ken. This man looks me directly in my eyes, picks it up and puts it in his pocket. I was shell-shocked and froze. I mumbled a quiet thanks and "Can I have my ring back?" He makes no move to give my ring back until an employee makes it known that she has seen the whole fiasco happen and would be calling the cops if he didn't hand it over. He mumbled something akin to, "I found it on the ground, it's mine." He immediately handed it to me, despite his protests. Like, what in the legitimate hell made him decide that he could just take my ring? He took finders keepers to a whole new level. It's one thing to find a ring someone dropped and didn't realize, as it's extremely unlikely they will remember when and where it went missing. It's another to just steal a ring in front of the person who dropped it. This happened to me in high school. I took off my rings to wash my hands. I turned to leave without them because I'm absent-minded and forgot, but before I open the door I remember and turn around just to see a girl slipping them into her pocket. I ask for my rings back and she goes, "What rings?" I reach into her pocket and just take them and she goes, Whoa, those are mine." I just turn around and say no, they're not, and leave. It was truly bizarre. But I also expect high school girls to be a little bit more entitled than a grown man like in this OP. I hope that guy goes home and stubs his pinky toe on every piece of furniture, and I hope the neighbors call the cops on him for all the noise he's making. I hope his bed is extra lumpy and he never gets a good night's sleep. He seems like a predator. Thank goodness that the employee witnessed this, because he clearly saw you as an easy target. People like him make me sick. Entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. Background: me, 36F, SIL, 40F. I've been married to her brother for over 10 years and there's always been some jealousy and resentment from her. She's always felt like I had the life she wanted, not necessarily with her brother, but the marriage, family, job stability, etc. I have 3 kids, 10F, 8M, 3 months female. She got married last year and they decided to start trying for a baby, but she was unfortunately told that she can't have children naturally. She was understandably devastated and the family comforted her as best as we could. We recently had a family dinner and in the middle of it she says, "Angel 698, I think it's really unfair that you got to have 3 kids and I can't have any. Your baby is my last chance to raise a child, so I think you should give her to me during the week so I can create a motherly bond with her and you can have her on weekends." Before I could respond, the entire table erupted with everyone talking at once, so I took my older kids upstairs. When I got back to the dining room, her husband was asking what the hell is wrong with her and why would she even think to ask that. She was trying to justify herself when I asked them to leave. I also said that she's no longer welcomed at my house or around my children until she gets help. She started screaming that I don't deserve my life or my children and that I stole her baby from her. Her husband and MIL kept apologizing and dragged her out of the house, still crying and screaming. Now my kids want to know why their aunt wants to take the baby. Edit. I've been reading the comments, but it's too many to reply to, so here are a few points. 1. We have a security system and cameras already installed and no one has keys to our house. 2. I will not be able to get a restraining order as this one incident isn't enough to justify it. 3. My husband and I spoke to the older kids about it the same night and will be having another talk with them to reinforce that Sael is not a safe person anymore. 4. Our country does not have the right to bear arms, and I also have no interest in getting a gun. 5. I'll be informing the school and daycare of the issue and giving them her photo. For those questioning the validity of the post, I completely understand. If I had heard about this last week, I wouldn't believe it either, but it's unfortunately the situation I'm currently dealing with. Stay safe. At least the rest of the family recognize her craziness. I had the same thought. Usually in Reddit stories like this, the family backs the crazy one because they are the golden child, etc. If she ever goes to daycare, make sure they know she is not allowed to pick up your daughter. I would also contact the school your other children attend just in case. She sounds unhinged. Yes, the entire family agrees she needs help, but still be careful because you never know what she might do. If you don't already have one, get a video doorbell. She's not on any of the pickup lists, but I'll take the advice and let the school and daycare know that she isn't to be in contact with my kids. When I was a kid, a distant family member, A, suffered a miscarriage about 3 months before her sister, B, announced her pregnancy. O insisted her baby moved into B and she would reclaim her baby when B delivered. I remember a lot of talk about crazy cousin A, as if it were comedy material. It took a kidnapping attempt to get the family to take it seriously. I'm glad your family sees this for the serious problem it is. I hope your SIL gets therapy and that it works for her. Update: entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. So my sister-in-law has been admitted to a psychiatric facility. In the comments of my previous post, I mentioned that her husband was seeking out counseling for them to deal with the infertility prior to this incident. After the incident, he sought out a psychiatrist rather than a counselor, and they had their first session last week. I didn't get the specifics of what happened, but basically she made some statements that the psychiatrist felt indicated she was a danger to others, my baby and me, and she was placed under an involuntary hold. My BIL has been nothing but apologetic through this entire ordeal, and he kept her away from us since the incident. MIL was staying with them to keep an eye on SIL. She tried to leave the house in the middle of the night to see her baby. Also, BIL found her researching how to induce lactation, and she said it was to make sure she can feed the baby properly when I come to my senses and give her up. From what BIL has said, seeing me breastfeed is apparently what triggered the entire episode. It was the first time Sael was around the baby for any length of time, and she was holding her when she got fussy because she was hungry. Naturally, I took her to feed her, and this made Sael feel inadequate because it triggered the thought that she would never be able to do that, which led to the events of the last post. I'm grateful for all the advice that was offered on my last post, as some of it was really helpful. We won't be moving as it's not feasible for us at the moment, but we have taken extra steps with security both at home and at the kids' school/daycare. This whole thing is taking a toll on the family, but Mel, FAL, and BAL are taking care of Sael, and my husband and I are focused on ensuring the safety of our immediate family and minimizing the effect on the kids as much as we can. I'm glad your family took the initiative and got the help and the treatment your Sael needs. And it's a good thing the entire family was keeping an eye on her, otherwise this would have been a different update. Unfortunately, it's going to be a while before Sael is well enough to go out into society. Continue to keep your family safe. I'm sorry this happened to you and your children. I sadly know people with these kind of delusions, and I can tell you they don't let them out easily, and if they do, they need to be tracked and watched. I've also heard they can get some sort of house arrest. I just pray Opie's family are safe and Asael is taken care of. I'm actually wowed at Asael's husband for not dumping her and actually helping keep her away from Opie and getting Sael the help she needs. You folks did the right thing protecting your kids, and your family did the right thing getting Sael help. Sometimes reality is just too much for a mind to bear. Sael had a psychotic break and will likely be unwell for a long time. Even after she is on a successful medication regimen, she shouldn't have access to you or the kids. One missed med, or one trigger can initiate a relapse. I'd also point out, I used the word initiate rather than caused. You breastfeeding your baby did not cause this. It might have initiated the initial break, but it did not cause this. You are not at fault. Since she is now on an involuntary hold, you might be able to get a restraining order against her as extra protection. The incident before this might not have been enough, but the fact that a mental health professional felt she was too dangerous to remain at home and needed 24-hour care and supervision should be enough to grant you an order. OP, please read this comment. She tried to sneak out in the middle of the night to see her baby. She's not going to stop. Protect your family, get a retraining order. I really do hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but please remain vigilant, OP. In North America, at least, our system is so overloaded that people who need to be held longer are often released because there just isn't the space/resources. I hope your family has resources to make sure your sister gets the help she needs, though, or to remove the niceties and double talk. I hear rich people can set up their relatives in fancy places where they need to be for their mental health. I hope your bill has the means to do this, for everyone's sake. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.